Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Royal Arena Grand Finals. It is Escape Gaming versus the Imperial in a best-of-5 series. We are one game deep already, and boy, if every game in this series is like game number 1, we are in for a heck of a time. Imperial taking down Escape 1-0 so far in this particular series. Imperial off the back of Baby Knight, Stroud Ranger, Aces Weaver, and some very solid play overall from all 5 players. Escape very close to being able to come back with Quake Tinker, but no such luck. We'll jump into the game number 2 draft here on moonducktv. Of course, we have the Mott to my packs joining me today. Trent, game number 1. Very exciting stuff. What do you expect for game number 2?
Well, what happened to our Nature's Prophet ban?
I don't know.
It's been replaced by a Shadow Demon.
What if Imperial picked it here? That'd be crazy.
That would be pretty funny. I mean, they have the Oracle. Obviously, they've taken another Drow. They don't want to give it up for the first pick this game. Understandable after the way they just manhandled last game with the Drow. But Escape give up the Oracle. I don't know if they expected the Bat to be banned or what, but now you get, obviously, the False Promise save of the Oracle against the Bat Rider, the Fortune's End in lane. If you ever end up just doing your safe lane versus the Bat Rider and you don't want to give that 1v1 matchup, you can purge off the stacks. And then you have OD plus Oracle, which is a fantastic combination, and you have Astral saves against Bat Rider too. So this looks pretty damn good for an opener from Imperial. What heroes left? They could... Well, you can't Nyx, right? Because you have the Bat Rider, so you don't get that counter to your OD.
Right.
I guess Lifestealer is the default,
I mean, you could go for that laning matchup with Razor, but that might be later on down the road if you want to. Razor or Sniper, which I imagine Imperial will ban at one of those 2 heroes, probably the Sniper. We've seen a lot of Sniper bans up against Outworld Devourers recently.
Yep, that's true.
So we'll see how they decide to letting this happen to play this. Escape have 1 minute left to reserve time. Do you think that maybe it would have been a better idea to ban something like the Oracle in this situation instead of maybe the Ogre?
I think if you ban Oracle there, then they'll just ban Bat Rider instead of Warlock, and then you would get Warlock first, but...
Oh,
wow,
there it is.
Actually take it that early.
They take it second pick. We had just talked about, okay, well, there's a possibility they pick up the Sniper against the Outworld Devourer for that laning matchup, but they pick it super early in this game. What do you think now, Trent?
I don't know. That's a little risky business for my likings.
I kind of agree with you. I
second pick Sniper?
Yeah.
You already have the Bat Rider, though, so this is someone who can not only provide vision for the Bat Rider, but he can add a lot of damage from far away, so they do have some good synergy together, but that early, I mean, it is the counter. It is the hero that gets banned out virtually every single time in the second phase if you take that OD first, so might as well grab it now.
What do you do for Imperial to counter out the Sniper? Do you pick maybe a better roaming support than just, say, an Oracle, maybe like an Earth Spirit or something, or what would you go for against a Sniper in any situation?
It's probably going to be like the mid-game gap close, right? So the Slider still being in the pool will be okay. I think his vision helps a lot for OD, for chasing during fights as well. The
Clockwork is another hero that's very strong.
Yeah, Clockwork's not bad, of course. The Centaur, we've seen some teams try. Not too shabby.
Huskar, Kappa.
Hey, man. Can't count that out, that's for sure.
No, I don't think they'll go for the Huskar. They do have the Oracle. Maybe they will.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay with it. But a Sniper, the thing is, Life Break is not that long of a ranged ability. You know, it's nice. It's a good gap close, but it's not quite like having a Blink Dagger and a Slardar or a Hook Shot in your game. It's a bit different. It really depends on how... I mean, they all have to get some sort of gap closer. That's all they've...
I think the last time they played a Sniper, they actually took the PA for Imperial, so that's a really nice ban there, actually.
That's a very good ban.
I think Slider will probably just be the other ban. And after that...
Who knows? There's a lot of options here. 1 minute left to reserve time for Imperial. What is Escape going to pick up? You still need your safe laner in both supports, which Imperial have done a good job of banning some of them out. Mirana taking away as well.
I think the Lifestealer is still fine here.
Yeah.
Good hero. You have Bat Rider.
It didn't quite work out for them last game, but that aggro dual lane was very impressive from Imperial.
Yeah, no, that was just a well set up game from them, I think. I wouldn't take too much out of that. I'm still okay with the Lifestealer. Good hero.
Solid
man,
choice.
that PA ban, that was nice.
You're really impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows so much research from Escape, though. I think that's... I mean, maybe it's just it's such a good hero against Sniper in a sense, but I was looking at that earlier, and I do remember that being like they went Slider PA up against the Sniper to try like gap close on him. So.
I would have liked Weaver, too. I feel like a lot of what Weaver accomplished last game, killing Cinderin, like just going in Shikuchi and bringing him down to like 3 or 4 hits, I feel like that could happen to a Sniper, too, if he's not careful. We'll see. I mean, that's a good ban. Imperial now have a couple of options here. Like you mentioned, gap close being the biggest thing. They didn't ban out the slaughter, which worked rather well for Hestejo in the last game, but might not in this game.
What about his Legion Commander? Because now they're not going to have the Abaddon pick, but you'll have the press the attack up against the Bat Rider, as well as buying a Blink Dagger, closing in on the Sniper. Press the attack's good on OD.
I'm okay with it, but they do pick up the slaughter, which is what, again, Trent, you're right on the money.
Well, I think it might be Safe Lane Legion with the Slider. Be like an Ace Legion Commander.
So
I'm going full crazy here.
Off-lane slaughter, safe lane legion. I don't know if is that enough carry in the mid to late game? You think between those heroes?
I'm just telling you. I'm just giving you the brain of Imperial.
Well, the thing I'm thinking about is we've seen a lot of legions. It's a lot like the slaughter problem. I mean, Legion farms a bit better, but like you get to the mid to late game, and all of a sudden you're missing out on items, and it's just it could work. I'm not against.
These guys are some Legion players, dude.
Oh boy.
There's some good Legion players. What else is well, Baby Knight's gonna be on the OD, so we don't have to worry about those wacky Baby Knight heroes more than likely.
Right. But what is an ace hero? Besides a Legion, what is an ace hero for Imperial? Obviously not the leader of this game.
I mean, obviously his Centaur was a big thing, right? But position 1 Centaur.
It's not really a thing anymore.
I think they'll still do it.
Lich has been picked up by Escape, which interesting. I guess it's just when you're lane. Do they send the Lich with the Sniper, or does the Lich go elsewhere?
I think because, well, it depends. If Imperial take the Lifestealer here, if they want to just do that and just have like Slider Lifestealer, and then they'll have double Purge up against the Bat Rider, they'll probably have to send the Lich and the Bat Rider to the off lane, and then Lich can then like help Bat Rider do stuff in the off lane when usually he can against like Lifestealer plus Oracle. That's what I would guess. And then for Escape, they can just get like a decent dual safe lane to zone out a solo Slardar. And life would actually be kind of okay for the lanes. I don't think I would watch a lot of Lifestealer for Imperial though. I don't recall seeing them like almost ever. Like I've seen them pick it like a few times, but it's definitely not one of their big ones. There's so much more about those unique heroes.
Oh yes.
I guess that's one.
That's one way to do it. Very good both offensively and defensively. A Sniper standing still, rather easy hook target. But again, defensively, Pudge has been, that's really what he's been picked for a lot of the time now. Not necessarily finding those kills, but finding ways to get your supports or your heroes out of a bad situation, which is Pudge excels at with his hook. I think this is a pretty good pick. I feel like Lich and Sniper are pretty susceptible to these hooks, at least early on in the game. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think it was Nusha who was actually talking about this too. Like a month ago, we were just talking about like OD plus Pudge, and when you have those like death-falling strats, and you can just fish forever, dude. You can just throw out hooks non-stop. You just have so much ammo when you're like sitting at their high ground.
So like you mentioned, you have Essence Aura, and then on top of that, you do have a setup with the Astral coming out. I mean, it's not an easy setup to hit, but easier than some other ones. So you just throw out the Astral, you hook somebody from that Astral. And they counter with an Escape Faceless Void. So this is going back a bit to kind of TI 5 times. I mean, Void's always been good for the most part. So Chronosphere, Chain Frost, you have the Sniper outside plinking away with Shrapnel and his auto attacks. I am a big fan of this choice. But this is going to be a safe lane Void perhaps, unless they decide to switch things up here.
Yeah, it's a lot of versatility here for them, I suppose. Obviously, Quickfoot has done some pretty sick Bat Rider stuff in the past. He gets like a super fast Blink Dagger. They snowball around the map. But I still think it's just going to be him on the Sniper in the mid.
Would you want to put the Bat Rider mid against the World Devourer? I mean,
no, that would just make no sense.
You can theoretically put the Lich there, and that might help. But I think Sniper is just that's why you pick the hero, right?
Yeah,
exactly. To dominate lane.
Yeah, he's there to try and shut down the OD. So it should just be the Quickfoot Sniper. And then safe lane Faceless Void here for Era. What is their last hero, though? I don't know about Earth Spirit.
Yeah. I feel like Lich is a bit more of a defensive
support.
It could use something with more offensive potential.
It might be like a Witch Doctor, and then that way they have double kind of somewhat defensive supports in the laning stage, and then Chrono.
Yeah. As long as you don't put the Death Ward inside the Chronosphere. Please don't do that. 23 seconds left in reserve time. They'll have to ban out what I mentioned to be a carry here against Imperial. I believe, unless they decide to do Hestejo safe lane Slaughter again, which could happen, depending on the last pick.
I think it should just be an ace hero.
10 seconds remaining.
And the Jug. Okay, solid.
That's fine.
Very stable
Lifestealer's
hero.
still available. Lifestealer 5th pick overall for Imperial. That's some big value. You don't have to go that route, especially against maybe a Void.
It's probably the strongest meta hero left.
Yes.
If they just want to go normal stuff.
Yes.
Not normal stuff. I think the Centaur is still decent. Very beefy. Hard to bring down the Chrono. Oh, that's a
I
nice
like
pick
that
too.
pick.
The Rubik.
Yeah, we forgot about that hero, but that's a very good pick this game. If you can steal some good abilities, like Hook maybe, Slaughter, Stun, Oracle, anything is fine. There's some options here coming out for Imperial. They have a lot to work with.
10 seconds
But only 8 seconds left in reserve time. This game is shaping up to be another exciting one. We saw the first game was a very close game between these two squads. Imperial looking to take a 2-0 advantage. Escape trying to even this bad boy up. Again, it's a best-of-5 series. We get to one apiece, and all of a sudden, it gets real interesting. Slark coming out for Imperial as their last pick.
Wow.
This hero is super hit or miss for me. I haven't seen it being too successful in the past couple of weeks. But they clearly have an idea. And how do you feel about this, Trent?
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, this is the great thing about this patch, too, is that we go through all these heroes, and we don't even mention Slark, but with heroes like Spectre being pretty dead, in terms of like the classic heroes that used to get on top of your drows and your snipers, Slark was one of them. He hasn't seen that much play lately, but he's showing up here or there, and this kind of a draft, too. You just want to, not only is he great up against the Bat Rider, because he gives you that purge like the Life Stealer in lane, so you still get that exact same scenario as this being like a good Life Stealer game, but he's better at getting on top of that sniper without any help. He doesn't need to be inside of the Slider. So now, because the Slider is pretty much destined to have a shit laning phase, this means the Blink Dagger isn't going to be a requirement for that Life Stealer to get on top of the Slider. Or rather, sorry, for that Life Stealer to get on top of the Sniper, and Slark can just get a Shadow Blade and do it himself.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's one of the primary pickups and one of the reasons for this matchup. We'll see how things turn out for Imperial. They, where's their 5th hero? Hello? Okay, he finally came in, but they smoked together without the Slaughter. I thought that was a little interesting. We'll jump into the game, and as this shapes up, we'll get some stuff going. It looks to be for now Trixie heading bottom with Synderen. So what you called essentially, which is that dual lane off lane, which was very successful for Imperial last game, and now Escape are going to go ahead and try it with the Lich and the Bat Rider. But this will leave Yapsor top lane with the Void, which is not necessarily the easiest lane for a Void Rubik, but it should do okay.
Yeah, Yapsor will be like the biggest target on his back right now, right? For the Pudge. I assume he'll probably roll top first for Noya and try and help with the Slider.
Yeah, that's
just
the
like bully the Rubik and the Void.
Always having vision of that Pudge, knowing where he is, trying to avoid those hooks is not an easy thing to do in this game. Trixie on the Bat Rider, we talked about the new standard coming in for Escape Gaming. Had an okay matchup in the first game. Again on the Bat Rider this game as well. But we know how well Trixie can play. Of course, a Fnatic EU /4 ASC veteran of Dota 2, among other games.
/Stark.
Yeah, /Stark. Very good point.
That was his other one, yeah. Can't, we gotta get them all out there.
That's true. I mean, a very talented squad for Escape. A lot of people that have been playing for a long period of time. Some very individually skilled players. Not to say that Imperial don't have that. We saw last game Imperial. They had some very good team play, and that Danish squad coming out on top in that first game. Very impressive stuff for Imperial. So as it stands now, Hesta Joe solo off lane for the Slaughter. Of course, this will lead the Void top lane for now. The Rubik is actually sitting mid as the time passes. Yapsor is going to try for the block here to help Era out. And then we've already talked about this dual lane off lane, but there is a nice little ward here which will scout things out for Imperial. Whether that's de-warded or not remains to be seen. There is a sentry for Synderen, so if he wants to plop it down, he certainly could.
Yeah, these are some nice early wards here from the Radiant side. Oh, speaking of Yapsor, gets a nice one in the mid lane too.
Telekinesis back. Do they have the damage? Shrapnel not skilled up. It's actually take aim, or headshot, excuse me, take aim. Yapsor and Baby Knight going toe-to-toe. Yapsor actually has the range advantage here, so he's doing a little bit more in terms of finding some extra hits. Down bottom. Fortune's End on Sidran. Noya looking for the hook. They'll find it easily. Pounce misses from Ace. Can they still get this kill? He's pretty low. He has no Fairy Fire, but it doesn't matter. If the Pounce hits, that's easy for his blood. And so that surprise factor is now gone. Sidran, luckily enough for the Radiant team, he doesn't have much regen. He has to go
Baby Knight mid.
And he's getting caught. There's the Shrapnel. Yapsor doing some good work. No Fade Bolt. Another Shrapnel coming out. They need 2 more auto attacks, it looks like. The Shrapnel, the Fairy Fire again. They're really far behind this tower. The salve is up. Baby Knight is going to survive. But because he uses the salve, he has to head back home almost certainly. Yapsor still sitting in the tree line. All 3 Shrapnels were used there for Era. So
he wants his wave, though. He's getting greedy.
Yeah, Yapsor's coming back again. He's got Telekinesis. The lift will more than likely come. No. Yapsor doesn't go for the kill.
Yeah, they just don't have the right click damage quite yet.
So because the Void is mid now, look at Hesta Joe CS. Great lane for him.
Yeah, that's true. Just 1v1 against Quake, but not much he can do, especially early on. Two melee guys training out, and a lot of that, like his safety comes from the fact they put that early ward down from the Pudge. That's why they didn't like bring the Pudge up top because they knew the Rubik wasn't going to be there, and they were just like, okay, well, I guess Pudge will just go in the bottom lane. We'll get our 1v1. Hestejo gets a nice start.
Oh, he's taking a lot of traits from Void for now.
Yeah, Quickfoot's get the advantage
Mid
now,
lane,
just having the bash.
Shrapnel Fade Bolt. Oh, they need one more. They find it. Yapzor will secure first blood. And this is essentially becoming a dual lane, and now it is successful. They get a much-needed kill in the Outworld Devourer.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Not even just the sniper versus the OD. They're giving him 2 heroes.
I mean, he's getting nothing. 2 CS right now for that mid lane. Quake for top lane. Hestejo did regen up. I think he salved, perhaps.
Yeah, he must have.
Still, Void is getting the CS advantage, not by much, but this is a very good start for Escape.
They also have this ward in the mid lane too, spotting out where Noya is right now. So no setup here. They're going to be easily accomplished with the Astral or anything like that.
And they should know. They saw Yapzor wrap around numerous times. They'd have to imagine that a ward is there.
Yeah, it could be anywhere there though. Like it could have been smoked at the start and placed here. It could have been placed up here maybe, or you know, any of these shenanigans. So
this is not easy. The Void, or excuse me, the OD is caught up a little bit. 6 last hits, 6 denies.
Oh, Era.
Oh, man. He was so close. Noya just took a little bit of a wrong angle there. Very good try. Noya, he hit that first hook, and that should have been a kill. The pounce missed, which is super devastating, I feel like, for that bottom lane. Ace is still getting okay farm, but they could be doing even better for him. And now Noya's got to think about, okay, well, where do I rotate? Do I stay mid? They have the ward there, so they still see Noya. They see him perfectly, in fact. You can see Era's just like, yeah, try me. And he doesn't have the most levels to take aim yet, so it's only 100 bonus range. But later on, this will be a lot easier for him to see us from afar. This is a very interesting mid lane, man. I don't know.
Yeah, poor Baby Knight.
Yeah.
This isn't fun. I mean,
He's
you know, you
doing
picked
okay.
OD, so you get what you deserve, honestly.
All right, well, listen. Come
Like,
on.
what a hero.
So
There
you're
you
saying
go.
if I
That's a
picked
nice
Viper,
Astral.
if I picked Viper and I got wrecked, you wouldn't feel bad?
I mean, I'm pretty. Oh,
Ooh,
yappy.
nice steal. Noya's
Right.
like, damn, that should have been mine. Telekinesis comes out. Smart play. Noya now is... I don't know if he stays mid. I'm not sure if he needs to rotate elsewhere. He doesn't really... He can't do too much against Koikfa unless they do a hook into a Slithering Crush, which should be enough.
Even that, I don't even think will kill him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, yeah, pretty much, like, bottom lane, I guess he could try that again, but they've been controlling the lane very nicely. I mean, they have a Lich,
Well,
so that kind of happens.
That's how
but
it works with the Lich, yes. You're absolutely right, which is tough. Ace is pretty much at the enemy tower whenever he's CSing. They do have a pull now. Is it stacked? The pull through, he got it. Nice.
God.
He got the other pull through. Which is
Poor
really
Noya,
good.
dude. Can't get anything. He's like trying to sit up here now. It's nighttime. The catapult's just like firing at him. He's like, well, shit, there's a
Levels
ward
he-
somewhere here.
he's level
but-
3, but they're splitting experience between all of these heroes. Between at least Baby Knight, Noya, and then Era and Yapzor. Again, that ward is still there, which I'm surprised. Hook is not going to connect Era. Telekinesis, they're probably going to bring him down here. Shrapnel, he has his rod if he wants to deny himself. Fade Bolt, another Shrapnel might go. Looks like they don't have that damage. With his Stout Shield and his HP pool, he's pretty tanky, but this means he's going to have to head home.
Yeah, I mean, that's a telekinesis spent to send him home, like, guaranteed, so that's well worth it.
Mm-hmm. And we have to see where he goes next. So they'll know he'll be off the map, and now the decision is, do we send him bottom, do we send him top? The only lane without vision for Escape is top lane. But again, very hard to bring down a Faceless Void with just a Slaughter and a Pudge. Down bottom.
Overall, though, I don't know. I'm kind of favoring the way this is going for Imperial. I know in terms of net worth, Escape, they do have like a slight lead overall with the graph, but Ace is getting some decent farm. It's not free because they're pulling it so much.
Yes, they do find the ward. But they're going to go
Oh,
with
that's
it.
good.
They're going to just try to fight anyways. There's no Rubik here. There's going to be the Rot Era. He's just been left alone. He actually dodged the hook, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. He has a Fairy Fire. He's going to use it. He does die, and then Noya, unfortunately, does not get off that deny, but it is still a much-needed trade. That is very important for Baby Knight. And Yapzor, a little bit too late to the party. They did drop the sentry. They will be able to get that ward finally. And very good set of circumstances there for Imperial.
Wow. I can't believe he turned that into a single kill in the Pudge. That's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if he had gotten the hook, then the Pudge is fine.
Yeah. That's true. It was a pretty, like, I don't even know why he, like, threw out the hook, honestly. I guess maybe because he saw that coming if he didn't, but... Keeps trying to clear up that sentry there. Now the Dire will know there is one up on that other high ground, but... I don't think they have any tangos left, right? So they can't just go over and nip it.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, no, I'm kind of okay with how this is going for Imperial. I feel like the Slark's still going to get a decent timing on the Shadow Blade. The Slider is getting really well farmed early on, which is difficult to do. Like Zoe get Tranquils and his Windlace and 300 and some gold.
Oh, the hook. They find Era. Good telekinesis, but I think Era is still dead here. Sanities comes out. Now the Chrono, they'll find the Outworld Devourer. Could be an okay trade. Hesta Joe's here, but it's too late. Can't get the Slithering Crush off. Now running in, looking for Koikfa. Even with the amp damage, he can't really do that much. Now he can time walk. No, it's on cooldown, so he can't avoid that damage. Rotation a little bit too late. Yaps are good timing. Noya back in, but again,
yo, this would be a sick hook.
Time walk's gone. Can he get it off? Won't go for it. Noya will back away. He's gonna cancel the animation.
Dude, he's got to be thinking about there with that Rubik.
And now Yapster knows that the punch is in the river. He's gonna back away. So in the end, it is a Chronosphere kill on the OD, but the OD does bring down the sniper first. So you think that's worth it for the OD and for Imperial in general?
It's just kind of even in the end, I think. Void doesn't really miss out on anything. The first Chronosphere is pretty difficult to do much with other than rotations and stuff, so I think it was worth it, him showing up mid, throwing out the Chrono, getting the kill. His life is fine. OD's pretty happy with how it works out. Just kind of trading of cooldowns around the map. Seems Invis Rune on Hesta Joe here. Double crush.
So the ring crush comes out. The pounce will connect as well. Fortune's End. Trixie still rather tanky. There's another hook coming out. They find Yapsor telekinesis to save his life. Good stun. Fade Bolt. Hesta Joe still alive. One more auto attack won't do enough. Yapsor gonna get brought down. Dark Pact will do the job. Ace won't go further. Pops the Shadow Dance. And it is a 2-for-0 exchange. That Invis Rune is dirty.
Yeah, and then Ride's also just purging off the Frost Armor.
Yeah.
Like laughs in their face.
That'll do it.
Yep. Think your Ice Armor's gonna save you? I don't think so. Synderen gets some good farm on the tower. Get these CS.
Ooh, he almost missed that ward too. That ward was about to get expired. But Rise is able to find the CS for himself. All right, you kept mentioning this, but you're absolutely right. Imperial in a very good position right now. This is going pretty well for them. You know.
Yeah, in terms like, 'cause Position 1 Void. I don't know. I'm
You're
not sure how I feel about this hero.
You're not a fan.
I'm not a big fan.
Slithering Crush, Time Walk available. Won't use it. Damn. That's a lot of damage that he took. No backtrack. You know, the biggest thing for me was they were shutting down Baby Knight so hard, but his net worth is now ahead of the snipers, which is still very early on in this game. Hold that thought. No way. Top lane. Fishing for a hook, potentially. Koikfa might be the one that's caught by this, but you can already see where Koikfa's sitting. It seems he has some understanding that the Pudge is in fact missing, and he would rather not die, given the circumstances. Down bottom, though, Ace has been scouted. Pounce away. He has Dark Pact. He has Shadow Dance. They'll drop another ward on top of where the sentry was.
Oh, no. Disaster.
Disaster indeed. It's 2 wards dewarded in that same area by Imperial. Koikfa wrapping around. Era's here as well. Looks like we will see a Chronosphere.
Nice.
Good bash to come out first. Shrapnel comes out. The Assassinate. This is a dead slaughter. If he had a stick there, he might have been able to survive, but he only had a half second since the Chrono ended. Very good kill. Void getting involved. Even Era rotating up. Nicely done. Now mid-hook. They'll find it onto Yapsor telekinesis. They don't get it on Baby Knight. The Astral's coming through. He has Sanity. Synderin's rotated. He has the Chain Frost, but he gets blown away. Baby Knight finds the double with the Sanities. Noise still getting chased down by Trixie. The hook is there. There's the Astral. Baby Knight has to leave. He doesn't have much HP to work with, and he has no Arcane Orbs either. And still, that's some significant damage from the Astral. Here comes the Assassinate. Won't do enough. It shouldn't anyway. He actually canceled the animation. Decided not to go for it. Still a 2-for-1. Huge hook from Noya. Huge Sanities from Baby Knight.
Yeah, that's without any stolen int too, right? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Just a double null.
No Arcane Orbs.
There.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I thought the Lich would survive. He was like full HP. Nope. Apparently not enough.
To go back and to reiterate upon the Position 1 Void, I do like it in this game quite a bit because there is a Slark. That makes a lot of sense, obviously. Just being able to try and lock him down, get the damage. It was picked in the later parts of the draft, which is nice too. Like, this is a guy that fell pretty quickly from tier 1 in terms of like picks and bans, right? Like, he was being picked and banned almost every game in the first phase, and we were seeing him in combination with like the Elder Titan, and that was when he was in the offlane role. But now we've kind of shied away from him in the offlane role because Slidar just seems better in like virtually every single way. So now we see him more in this like Position 1 with the Lincoln Sphere build that you see like Bisa and Shadow doing quite a bit. And I do like it on someone like Bisa, and for the same reason I actually do kind of like on Koikfa, just because he can always keep his farm up. Like, he's a guy that, I don't know, this guy just, he hits creeps, and he's exceptionally good at hitting creeps, right? It's kind of been Koikva's biggest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, bottom lane Rise. So many TP reactions this game, too.
This Oracle, and again, much like last game, Oracle doing some serious work. Rise was playing the bad in last game. It was actually Noya on the Oracle. This game, Rise, and not done a lot. I mean, he's done enough, but he's just been sitting bottom. He is level 6 now. But again, Oracle, so tough to bring down in a lot of these situations with Fate's Edict and False Promise, not to mention your Purifying Flames as well. Hesta Joe scouted out by Era. Slithering Crush, it's there, but there's no follow-up. Astral will come through, stolen by App Store. Fade Bolt as well as Telekinesis ready to go, and they should find this kill. Spell stolen, it's even amp damage, which is pretty nice. And Hesta Joe with that on him, and one more auto attack should be enough. Oh, no, the Astral does come out, but it is still the kill going with the assassination from the sniper. Baby Knight, he's amp damaged up now, which is a little frustrating. TP's down bottom, Synderen, no Chain Froster. He does have it now. Frost Blast, Chain Frost here would be great. Lasso comes in, they lasso back the Oracle, cannot get his False Promise off in time. Now Ace is getting chased down, more bounces, but it's only on the creep wave. Bounces up, he's got it ready to go, but he will use his Shadow Dance first and foremost. So 2 kills across the map at Escape, they actually get the advantage in kills now.
Yeah, and this, I guess you can describe a lot of the game because of the space and sway, but this helps show like why the hero is very nice in this scenario, though. Because how many other cores could you have put 1v1 in the top lane against a Slider and still done a decent job of farming, right? Like, you can't get this like survivable hero like a Morphling or something like this. Even Lifestealer kind of runs into some troubles, but Koikva's pretty much immune to ganks. Like, he's exceptionally hard to bring down. He can rotate in with big plays at the Chronosphere, and then he goes back to farming. So he's not going to scale maybe as nicely in that mid-game phase as someone like a Morphling would, but he has opened up so much space for this Batrider because he can be down there by himself.
Chronosphere assassination. Nice. Again, good defensive hook, but it shouldn't be enough. Or will it? 50 HP for the Slardar. Just enough to survive there. A great positioning from Noya. Saves the life of his ally. And now that, it's Chrono and assassination down. Although assassination is pretty short cooldown, but no field. Rather, no gank required. Ace is going to get Frost Blasted down bottom. Pounce away, Yapster can't find the lift to start things off. Coming in is going to be Rise. He's scouted out by that Observer Ward, which was just placed down by the Rubik. And a couple of ganks not really coming to fruition for Escape Gaming.
Not quite able to find it.
All right, man. 4 steps up for Baby Knight. We talked about the scaling of Koikva, but let's look at the Slark and the OD here. Right now, their net worth is solid. You probably want to wait for the... Do you think he waits for the Shadow Blade before the Slark really gets involved? Or whatever item he's
pretty much, right? Like, there's just not much you can do on this hero without it.
I almost expect to save him for a Blink Dagger. Which I'm totally
I don't... Nah, he'll buy Shadow Blade.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Well, Blink's dead.
Rise
We're done with that build.
Third D board at this game. Trixie's about to get scouted out. Hesta Joe does not have a Blink Dagger, but Sprint is up in 1. However, Trixie's able to understand that something is amiss and backs himself away. In the meantime, it is going to be Koikva pushing the top tier 1 tower. Bottom tier 1 might be pressured now. Half health, so he's got enough for a Blink Dagger. Okay, he buys the Shadow Amulet.
Almost get a hook mid.
Sprint is up. Trixie's going to try his best. There's no mana for a lasso here. He does have Firefly. Hesta Joe is really gone around here. They do not see him. It looks like now he's going to come out slithering. Not in time. Good Firefly. Gets himself away. Had a drum charge if needed. Ace. Looks like he'll get out. Spell that stolen should be Astral, and it is. Telekinesis first. Astral to fall. Shrapnel coming next. Ace taking a lot of damage. Shadow Dance, False Promise in time. Hesta Joe might not be so lucky. Assassinate. Fate's Edict is there and keeps him alive. Hook, but it's aggressive, and they'll use it onto Trixie. Looks like it'll be a 1-for-1 for so, at least at this point. Now Air getting jumped on. Pounce is there. Ace doesn't have his Shadow Dance. Air taking some significant damage. Will fall, and the Astral Baby Knight is rotated in to follow up and find that third kill. Yapzor almost certainly dead. Rise finds himself a double kill. And that went disastrously bad after the rotation from Baby Knight and a good hook from Noya.
Wow. So that all starts out with the aggression onto our Batrider, and then like the turnaround play with everyone coming in. So maybe just a little bit too over-aggressive from Escape, trying to turn it into more than they needed. Right there, just running this kind of stable draft where they've got this Rubik Lich, they've got their Faceless Void, who only has a Vlad's. I mean, this is what Position 1 Void does. He just chills for so long. He doesn't have an Ogre Magi or a Slider of his own this game. Like, there's no one who enables him offensively at all this game, which is a big issue for Faceless Void, so he needs a ton of farm. I mean, you just need to play the game like that, so... I'm not sure about taking that fight without Chronosphere being up and being, like, having the Faceless Void able to rotate in there. I got punished hard.
Top lane. I don't think I saw it. I'm not sure who it was. He did use it. Maybe to stop a TP or at least attempt to. I didn't scout it out.
Yeah, no, I didn't spot up there either. But if they don't have Chrono, though, I don't think they can make that play bottom.
No, they definitely can't. And you saw the lack of rotations. They did rotate in one, but they still didn't get the tier 1 tower. It is low. It's not in deny range yet. But no ice armor now means that it's probably going to be baby knights for the taking. 16 minutes into this game, and again, Imperial have a slight advantage. Very slight, in fact. I thought it would be more, but it's only about 1,000. Ace coming in Shadowblade, and Air knows he's in trouble. The Dark Pact is there. They should have enough damage here. The Fortune's End. Still not going to fall. Ace knows that somebody's nearby. Frost Blast doesn't go through. There's going to be the Chain Frost. Falls Promise. The Astral might keep him alive, but Quake is coming in. Still no Chronosphere. Hook defensively comes out. They even have the Courier, and Rise will survive. Again, that False Promise making it so that Escape just cannot find a kill. Even though Ace doesn't go forward, they still are able to at least get down the Chain Frost.
Yeah, they did save Era, though. That Purifying Flames was like about to come out there when he got lifted up. So, good save by Yapzor, but coming in the back lines, it is Ace way in behind the tower.
Damn, look at him.
He's all alone, though.
He's not in
no
range of the
OD
tower.
pressure.
He doesn't have any Shadow Blade anymore. Meanwhile, look at where Hesta Joe is with his Blink Dagger. He was looking maybe to start things off and then have Ace follow up soon thereafter, but that's not going to be the case. You do have now a Blink Dagger for the OD instead of going straight for that Hurricane Pike. Wants really that positioning advantage to start things off himself. There's a lot of mobility from this team. Meanwhile, Trixie, Noya has spotted him. Doesn't go for the hook, though.
It's set up the Fortune's End.
In the Roche pit. Now avoids it. Now there's going to be the Chronosphere. It's on the OD. A huge pickup. They'll find the kill. No False Promise. Still on cooldown. They will get the OD first. Now they'll chase it to Rise. Time Dilation, Flame Break, Pushback will be there. And he can only just Fate's Edict himself and hope that he doesn't die. But unfortunately, that's a lot of heroes in the vicinity. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Astral hide from the Yapzor. Teeps coming in.
Nice set
another
on the Trixie.
Ace wants his tower. He's so low. Shadow Dance might be there. Telekinesis needs to be careful. Frost Blast. They break down the 2 cores and they get the denial
In
off.
the jungle.
Meanwhile, they're looking for more Quickfoot. Time walking forward, but Hesta Joe is able to blink out in time. That was a disastrous engagement coming out for the Radiant team. They lost so much gold.
What happened on the bottom tower? Ace just dove under, I guess?
He was trying to get the last couple of hits on the tower. He's not a very good tower pusher. What happened is he got hit with the Astral first, sitting at half HP because the Astral's level 4. He had Shadow Dance, but then he got lifted and Fade Bolted and Frost Blast, and that brought him down. So he was being too aggressive. Now they know this.
Yeah, they were committing the full Pudge and Slider onto Trixie. There was like a Blink Crush into a hook, but just Firefly, he was able to live. So
Quickfoot is so alone. Or excuse me, Baby Knight is so alone. And they do spot him. They know that he's there now with the creep wave. That was a dangerous play.
Right, well, things certainly heating up here.
Yeah, that's a huge turnaround for Escape. I mean, they got a lot of gold in Quickfoot. They find some much-needed net worth and experience on their supports, too. Like, that fight gets them a 2,000 net worth swing. Look at the net worth graph now. It's not that much in this game, but that was not a good play from Imperial.
Well, they do have a lot of tools up for them right now. Obviously, like that Blink Force Staff now on the OD, so he's exceptionally mobile. They have the Shadow Blade on the Slardar, or rather the Slark and our Slardar Blink. So it's time for them to like smoke up, go do some shit, get stuff done. And it looks like they might be setting up for that now, perhaps.
Well, they don't have the Ace Slark. He's top farming.
Oh, I guess they haven't even taken down the mid tower yet, though. That would be a nice little goal for them, but really, you can see the effort from Escape.
Or even the tier 1 tower top lane. The pushing potential of Imperial is clearly not there. Hook? No. It's too short. Needs an Aether Lens. He's close to it, at the very least. Meanwhile, spotted out was Trixie. He's got a D-ward. Some good sentries placed down this game. I said I had a good feeling about Imperial in the beginning of this game, but the way this game is turning now is... I'm not sure, Trent. Like, you're going to have Era getting pretty farmed in Void pretty soon as well. And they just can't push on Imperial's side, really. They're trying
they just have a big burden with their draft, whereas there's not really the same for Escape. Like, they want to play this more passively. They just want to get a lot of gold on the Faceless Void and a lot of gold on the Sniper to get them, like, steroided up and be super valuable. Whereas right now, Imperial are 100% ready to fight, so... DD Rune helps out. Just take that one very quickly. They can start pressuring up. They're trying to push as fast as they can the bottom lane with Escape, but I think if they just stick together, ward up this dire side jungle, things will start to look a little bit better for Imperial. Maybe swing down to the mid lane, start pressuring this tower too. Like, Quickfoot is one of these heroes. It's like a Morphling where it's like not even worth it to try and gank him. So I think they just need to start getting that focus right for Imperial. We're like, okay, we need objectives. We need this tower. We need this tower. And they are snowballing now with those items that they have.
The Yapzor finds himself a Yule Scepter, as I mentioned. That kill on Ace, providing some significant cash flow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yule's first on the Rubik.
It saves you against a lot of these abilities.
You can take off like the amplified damage too, but compared to something like a Blink and everything, it's just I would say it's like a higher skill cap actually to have the Yules than to go for something more traditional like the Blink.
Right.
Just gonna try and keep that for that perfect moment. Save people from like the Pudge and stuff as well.
That was
Lark
some
as well.
interesting tower trades I want to point out. They took the tier 1 mid, the tier 1 bottom, and then of course Escape take the tier 1 bottom, tier 1 top, tier 2 top. Now Roche's potential reward for Escape Gaming. No vision for the Radiant team around this area. I don't think they have any. They have one ward up in the Uber Cliff here that they just dropped down, but they have no other vision. They will find themselves another double damage rune and Escape. They will back out of Roche. They had some time to work on it, but again, very tough to bring this down with the amount of damage that you're putting out now, which is not much.
Yeah, and if you look at their wards right now, they don't see anyone. There's like no one down here pushing out this lane, so they probably thought the Radiant side was smoked and maybe coming in towards Roche. So unfortunately, they give up Roche when they probably could have cleaned it out in time.
Yeah, they could have.
But really, they don't know that.
For Imperial, they need to start getting some vision down. Smoke does come in, and they might spot somebody. Look at Quickfa's positioning right now.
All right, Noya. So if they blink crush into a hook.
I don't think they saw the smoke.
No, but again, they've just been off the map for so long. Like, this lane has been sitting here for forever.
Escape will now be the ones to smoke. They actually broke the smoke of Hesta Joe. Noya's going to be first contact, potentially. It's actually Rise. And smoke will break. Ward drop down. Imperial's ace. He's been spotted. Should have a sentry ready to go. They'll find the last one to Baby Knight instead. Yapsor, Slithering Crush. He might fall first and will. Hook will fly.
Hook.
They find the kill on the ledge. Good Chronosphere. False Promise comes out on the slaughter. They still may very lose one. It's going to be the OD. It's a 2-for-1 exchange. Ace on the backside. Shadow Dance can heal him back up. Koikfa, he has time walk. He'll get away. It is still a 2-for-1 trade, but they only got supports on the side of Escape, whereas Imperial did find that OD. They're still chasing, however. Wards, or rather the creeps, will scout out some of these heroes. Ace is going to Shadow Blade up, but they have detection as the Shadow Dance passive will go. They know that there's some sentries nearby. So what do you think? I mean, the OD goes down, but you do get 2 kills. Who wins that trade?
If they can get this mid tower, I would hand that over to Imperial, right? It looks like they will, without like the Rubik and the Lich. No threat there. I think the hook on the Lich is actually one of the best heroes to grab. Like, not allowing him to get off his ultimate, that would have been terrifying with that Chrono. Yeah,
that's the primary reason why they picked the Void and the Lich together. And Aetherlens is going to make it easier for the Pudge now, and he's very close. So, good stuff. Recipes 550.
So much this game looks like it might be coming down to this Roche too. Not so much like actually taking the Roche, but it's just having this threat around the area from Imperial. Them getting in here, them just picking like one hero at a time. Eventually, they probably can take it just because they have Slayer Dart, but it's not like a giant concern for them. It's more like how they play around it. Ace obviously is just like, hey guys, look, wards. Gotta love Slayer.
Right, yeah. That's
the most hated thing for every support player ever.
Oh, you're just going to de-ward me because you have Shadow Dance? Great.
Oh, wow, they're going in, dude.
They will find someone. It is going to be a lasso now. Blink out. Koikfa, Chain Frost coming in. Ace. They get the stun off onto Koikfa. He doesn't have Chronosphere anymore. They bring down Baby Knight again. Ace. Shadow Dance has to go. He's pushed to the high ground. He's with Koikfa. I don't think he can get this to Firefly, burning him alive. Both cores now dead, and you have to back here if you're Imperial. Great turnaround. They're looking for more Noya. He's got the hook. Fade Bolt will grab Yapsor, a double kill onto Rise. Trixie now does get hooked, but Noya is in. He's trapped in there with them. That is a 4-for-1 engagement without Chronosphere. It comes down to some solid positioning from Escape, a great last from Trixie, and
a great flame break too. Yeah. He bounced them up onto the high ground.
Yeah, that was. And had he not been there, maybe Ace gets away and they can maybe turn this around. But now it's 4-for-1 underneath the Roche pit. They get the Aegis almost certainly. That is a great turnaround for Escape. And although they do get that great turnaround, they haven't gotten much net worth out of that fight. Look at the graph. Maybe it's still updating, but...
Yeah, it'll probably update a little bit further, I think. But that was... I think Imperial were just like, all right, there's a hero in the river. There's no way they're doing Roche right now because they don't even have Chrono. Like, they just burnt it. I'm sure they're not in there, guys. And then they just come, like, flying over the mountain. And you're just like, oh, shit, guys. They're actually there.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
Void is getting dangerous. This Chronosphere is very tough to deal with. And even with Ace as farmed as he is, with a Silver Edge coming out and an Echo Saber that he just picked up, it's not an easy game. He did some nice damage to the Void, but Void, a lot of armor with the Vlads and the Manta style. Like, he's got some significant right-click protection.
Yeah, he could go into a Diffusal Blade probably next. Get that extra damage with the illusions.
Which would be huge. Against
general item overall. Good for the hero.
Baby Knight's died twice in a row. He's only gotten his Hurricane Pike since the last real time we saw him. I don't know. These deaths are a bit tough for him. He's not really surviving in a lot of these engagements.
Smoking up again here on the dire side. Whose ping was that? That was Yapsor's ping. So he did just
you later,
perfectly say
Rise.
where they were.
Good attempt at the hook. He gets the Astro instead. Can still get this false promise off, and he does in time, so he's going to keep himself up and alive. Astro comes in, through crouch, will fly. There's the chain frost. Noah will certainly die first. A 1-for-1 exchange, support for a support, followed by Rise coming out. Sanity's doing some nice damage. Synderen, low on mana. They get off that pounce. They will find the sniper. A huge kill. Now has
nice
Joe looking for more.
force
Blink up and ready to go. Slither Crush doesn't connect, but with 1 or 2 right clicks, even the Astral, Baby Knight wanted that kill, and he'll get it. And that is going to be 2 for 3 exchange. Very huge fight. Very, very big fight for Imperial. Trying to get back around.
Yeah, that was great for them. I mean, they're up in the top, and they see the Spaceless Void pushing the whole way down here with no TP. And they're just like, look, we can get aggressive, guys. We can fight them. Like, the Aegis does not matter in this moment. Yeah, they just took Roche. Doesn't matter at all, because we see him hitting creeps without a TP. Like, let's go into their jungle, let's try and find them, and Escape actually get aggressive without a Faceless Void. So maybe a little bit of a mistake on their part there, getting a little bit anxious with Lasso plays.
Look at Odie's item. Wow.
Is that a Scotty, I guess? Or I don't think it's an
know.
Octarine. It must be a Scotty.
Aghanims?
No, that doesn't
I mean,
even
it's
do
not very
anything, right?
good.
Like, literally, what was that game that we had it, and it was God tier? They were base racing, and he bought the Aghanims so that he could ulti them all and put them in the Imprison, and they won the game. It was Hani who was calling for it, I think. And he was like, no, they should totally do it. And he was like, they should buy Aghs.
Item. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of options
very
here.
good.
Probably not a Bloodstone. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I don't think that's a very good OD item. So...
Dude, I don't know.
I was like, point booster first, Aghanim Scepter. Like, part of me wants to see that, but you're right. Like, it's not very useful in this game, I don't believe. Hey, we'll find the Dire Courier in the meantime. I don't know where it died. Again, my courier hotkey is down.
Oh. Dire Courier.
There's
It
a
died
fight
by
breaking
the
out. Slithering
agents.
Crush Telekinesis. Voidfa has Chronosphere. He wants to use it. I mean, right now might get dismembered, although False Promise comes out. Quakefa, that's his Aegis gone. It looks like no, time walks away in time. Chain Frost stops the dismembering, but that's it. It's down now. Lasso, they will find Rise. I don't know if you turn this around. That's a big Slithering Crush if you wanted it, but it looks like it will be a 2-for-0. Ace comes in. He's been spotted.
Oh,
Shadowblade has to
risky
go. They
business.
have the gem. Telekinesis is there. He might have to use a Shadow Dance. Dark Pack comes out. Wants to get the kill on Trixie, who's gotten broken. But I don't know. Shadow Dance is already gone. Slithering Crush out of 3. Did he get the gem? Ace, did he pick it up? No. Someone else grabbed it in time. It was Rubik. Still, though, Ace in trouble. Assassinate. Looks like he will fall. They do get the kill on the back, though. Hestejo does find Cinder, and it's a 3-for-2. Still a better fight, though, by far, going for Escape, as they pick up 2 supports, and more importantly, they get the kill on Ace.
Yeah, that was weird. Is a lot of gold that goes to Slider in the end. 630, 1800 experience. I mean, he himself is a pretty big winner, but everyone else on Imperial instead not having the best time there. A little bit scrappy, a little bit weird. Maybe considering Escape had the Aegis, you're kind of okay with how that just went as Imperial, considering how awful it started out. Baby Knight got a ton of space down bottom. He's just pushing away here.
Look at his gold right now. 3K.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm leaving.
I'm waiting for that item. You and I are both like, what is it going to be?
It would just be so weird to see the Aghanims. I don't know.
Oh, fight breaking out. Noe's been caught. Spell Steal finds himself Dismember. Pretty good Spell Steal. And Void will find himself another kill. Naked kill spree for Quake, who is yet to die this game. I think if Escape win this game, it's going to be on the back of Quake's play because he's done very well again, both in Game 1 and Game 2. And it's
We're just Octarine coring.
Soul Booster, yes. Very much so.
Interesting.
Watch him pick up a Bloodstone, and what I said earlier is just null and void.
Well, I mean, what would a Bloodstone really do for you this game?
Low cooldown, cooldown timer. You don't need it for mana. That's for damn sure. Hurricane Pike Cinder and see you later, buddy. TP out, Baby Knight. Can he make it away in time? Yes, he can. TPs are too late from Escape. They rotate Yaptor, but it was a very long TP rotation. Wow. Hestejo has picked himself up at Perseverance. Do you think it's more than likely going to be the Lincoln Sphere this game, or do you think maybe Lotus Sword? Slithering Crush, we'll find Quake. We'll hold that thought. Era. It's going to get amped. That's a bad time to go for a hook. False Promise comes out. Now Quake was forced to get away. He doesn't have his Aegis, but he does get a Chronosphere off defensively, which actually Baby Knight got pushed out of by the Flame Break. Ace will find Trixie in the meantime, wanting to get revenge after that last fight. Hook's there. They get the kill for Rise with Purifying Flames, which gets Ace up to about 4.3k gold. Not the best fight. Now with Chronosphere down, I think if you're Imperial, you try to go hard here. Which looks to be the case. But yeah, going back to that itemization for the slaughter, what are you thinking for Hestejo?
Lotus Orb is super good this game.
Yeah.
Up against the Rubik, up against the Lich, even the Sniper, the Bat Rider. Pretty hard to make a case for anything else, honestly. So should be the item. Apparently, he's Baby Knight's big on the Octarine Core OD. Certainly unusual. That is not a common build that we see from like anyone. Much more common to see, first off, BKB. Of course, in a game like this, understandable, it's not very good. But then Shiva's Guard would be the next most common item. But it seems he's all about that Octarine Core. I mean, the ulti has a pretty huge cooldown. It's kind of like DP, where you get a huge bonus out of that, which is nice. Lower cooldown on Astral is going to be pretty great all the time. Just the general lifesteal. We talk about how important it is for the sustain in a fight as an OD, where you have these heroes that give like better attack speed and everything, letting him just run rampant through the fight. Octarine Core kind of does that for yourself too, where you can just be like stealing life and staying active. So it's very synergistic and it makes sense, but it's very unique. It is really not seen by many other players.
It's a big item, and there's 2 big items coming out for Imperial. We talked about the Octarine, but there's also the Scotty, which was just completed for Ace. A lot of full Scotty.
Another solid game
damage for Escape right now. They had a pretty good window. Era's not hitting very hard yet. He's only got a Maelstrom and a Hurricane. Like he does some okay damage. Void does have his Diffusal Blade now and a Manta Style, but they could seriously use some more damage. A lot of it will maybe come through team fights with, you know, Chain Frost, Lasso, whatever the Rubik can provide. But they are
Baby Knight's his Sandy's Eclipse could actually play a pretty big part because those illusions are going to be pretty huge from Quakefest. So if he chronos someone and pops illusions and starts going to town on like the Slark, trying to burst him down, and then he just throws a Sandy's Eclipse into like last fight, Baby Knight burnt a ton of the hero's manas on Escape, and he also immediately disperses those illusions too. And you can see that too, like he just cues those 2 Manta illusions from Quakefest, right? So even if he can just purify them that way and ditch those bad boys, that is a lot of Quakefest damage.
Escape setting up for a potential engagement. They actually time walked in with the Void, but Ace is in the top lane, and you have to make a decision now if you are Escape. They've already TP'd 1 back. It is going to be Quakefu sitting on the side here. However, he just will get spotted as he walks into range of that Observer 1 on the high ground. But some nice tower damage done to the tier 3. I think Imperial have a very good advantage right now. I mean, again, the net worth seems like it's almost broken, because if you look at the net worth graph, it's only like 2,000. But this game is just very close. Now, like I said, after the game number 1, if the game 1 was like, if game 1 was going to be how every game of the series is going to be, it's going to be a great series. And so far, it's not really letting up.
Yeah, it's staying pretty well the same way. He's playing pretty passive for a while here. There's a Lotus Orb. Are we gonna smoke up here, guys? What do you guys got on? Got 1 there on our Pudge there, so we'll see if Noya wants to go. Try and get active before the Roche spawn. Ooh, quick steal on that illusion rune from Ace.
Got him.
Where's that gem anyway? It is still on Yapsor, so had that been on Trixie.
Yeah, Trixie died with it, and it dropped to the ground after the Slytherin Crush came out from Hestage, but they couldn't pick it up in time. Here's a smoke, though. Aggressive play coming out. All heroes together on the map. Escape sitting in a very advantageous position. You don't really want to walk to that high ground if you can avoid it for Imperial.
Yeah, they're pinging. They know what's going on.
Arrow.
They have a scan if they want to throw it out from the Dire.
Yeah, this is bad now for Escape. Hook, not going to connect on anybody. Very close. Lasso comes out. They've already brought down 1 so much quick for coming in. He's got that Chronos, but the Shadow Dance is already there in time. Force Wave Dismember comes out. Now look at the damage from Baby Knight. Should do enough. Still slowed up. The Ice Armor doing some nice work. Koifa. Chrono does only catch on Noya. Astral to save him. They still have Sanities, by the way. And now Air on the backside. They get off the Hurricane Bike, but here comes Baby Knight. Slytherin onto 2.
Nice.
Sanities is about to get dropped in. There it is. Blowing them away. Baby Knight finds the double. 4 dead on the side of Escape Gaming. Too much damage to deal with, and Imperial find a huge fight with a great smoke. Oh, amazing engagement, Trent.
Yeah, Chrono comes out, Astral to save the Pudge, and the only person who ends up getting stuck inside is Era. I couldn't tell if he walked into it or if he got force-staffed into it, but somehow he wound up inside that Chrono, so disaster from Escape there. It also started out really awkwardly with like Koikva and Ace like in the trees, and then he just Shadow Danced to avoid all the illusion damage, and then from there just like the jump was dead for Escape. So Imperial, just a nice initiation, good wraparound, good timing there as well as they smoke up, find their picks, then go take the objective of the Roche. They don't have to worry about fighting around the pit with Chronosphere and Shrapnel and Bat Rider and Lich Ulti. Like, imagine trying to go into the pit against these guys. It'd be awful.
Yeah.
So big play by them to get out there, force the fight, and then secure the Aegis.
Does it feel like to you like they really need to hit a big Chrono this game? Because it seems like if they don't hit a big Chrono, then somebody's going to get saved in one way or another. There's Hook, there's False Promise, there's OD, Hide. It's just so much defensive capabilities here.
I mean, they have a draft that there's 3 heroes that need to be inside the Chrono, so that's always just so tough. You have to, in these situations, you want to get Like you have to do like the math, right? Where like you can add in an important person that you need. Wow, what a scam!
That's
goddamn, dude.
They had no vision. How did they get that scan?
They're just like, nah, he's farming there, guys.
What?
I got this.
Koikfa still has a haste rune and seems to know that something is amiss, but that's still an insane scan that probably should. Oh,
He boss TP. Did he?
They didn't see him, I don't think. Yeah, they didn't see him.
Oh, they see him now. They just saw him. He was definitely in their
Well,
vision?
he's TP. So
Maybe he wasn't. Okay.
You're crazy.
Maybe I was toggling on the wrong one. I'm just wild.
Okay, I mean, this is what I was talking about. Air doesn't have the most right click still. Hurricane Pike and now Mjolnir. So he's still pretty significantly behind, at least the two big cores for Imperial. Koikfa's starting to hit pretty hard. They have still some good abilities to do some damage with. But again, it's really about catching Imperial off guard. Easier said
Oh,
than
now the
done.
butterfly,
That's a
too.
butterfly. Good luck killing the Slark.
Yeah.
Even with a Chrono, with a good Chain Frost, good luck killing this guy.
He is super tanky. The Mjolnir, it's like okay this game. I assume you'll be placing that on Koikfa, and he just runs in with the Chrono. But the best thing this game is like Dark Pact, where it has all those damage instances to like throw out a bunch of the lightning. But that's kind of it, and Rod, I suppose. But odds are that Koikfa's not going to be in range of the Rot for much of the fights.
Koikfa's been spotted by an Observer Ward. So too has Trixie. Hook, nice blink just in time. Finger on the trigger, whether or not he did it because he knew that the hook was coming, or he just did it kind of willy-nilly, randomly. I'll give him the credit and say that maybe he saw the hook coming, but that's pretty difficult. Cinderin is playing a very dangerous game.
Gotta get those wards up.
You remember what happened game 1, my friend. Man, if I saw that Slaughter blinking and Slytherin crash, I would freak out. That would scare me. I would jump. Even if it wasn't on me. All right, well, Sanity's obviously back up. He has another Mystic Staff or perhaps a Hex. Blink Astral.
Koikfa's thinking about it mid.
Yapsor in trouble. Hook. See you later. Yules is going to come out, but that Blink Dagger is not going to be able to get off. Another good hide, however. With the Rot there, he might actually be able to make it. We'll see. Ace is going to find Koikfa. Time walks away. Sanity. It's not doing that much damage, actually. Koikfa, as well as Trixie, already survive. They do bring down Yapsor, unfortunately. He did get caught. But Sanity's is down now.
Do we try high ground without it? I think you do.
They have an
Rubik's
Aegis.
dead.
Yeah, they have an Aegis. They should.
You have hooks to fish. Needs his Aghanim Scepter.
That's his Shivas for OD.
Dire's middle tower is under
Played
attack.
no for Noya. No. Good ice
All
on
right,
her.
Firefly's up. That's good to know.
There's no buybacks on any of these heroes in this game with the exception of Rise. Blink Lasso, Dark Pact not in time. Astral comes out to give him the hide. He's still might be in trouble. Chronosphere preemptively.
Oh, no!
No, he missed it! Koikfa! Oh, he put it where he thought the Astral was, but unfortunately that's not where he came out. Maybe Knight, good false promise. He does have the Aegis. Chain Frost will bounce at least once. That's it. Assassination does not bring down Rise. Ugh, that's
Hurts.
Koikfa without Chronosphere now.
I thought he had him.
Yeah, so did I.
It's
but
that weird
it's
like
the isometric-
animation.
It's the isometric camera angle too that makes it difficult to tell.
Yeah, because he's like lifted in the air and then he
Right.
like falls down weird. Oh man, that sucks.
That is, and he could have put it a little bit more in the middle, but he wanted everybody to be able to get a shot at right clicking him. Shiva's guard in the hide for Baby Knight. They want this tier 3 tower, and the ice armor will not be able to
Yeah,
save it any
he's
longer.
just gonna walk at them because he's 40 seconds of Aegis left. So
He's taking some serious damage. Hook's gonna connect. That'll be Trixie. He's done. See you later. 2 hits from both Ace as well as Baby Knight. Gems drop. Good Slytherin crush. Hester Joe being a bit aggressive. Air is still not doing enough damage. Fable comes out. They drop the gem on the deck. Koikfa about half HP. Hook not gonna connect this time for Noya. Air is still going to work. The blade mill's there, and Air's like, I can't hit you anymore. Baby Knight. Shiva's guard will go, but he does have to hide himself. Or actually, that might have been Yaps for hiding. Baby Knight is going to be getting assassinated, but they will back up together. They're happy with the tier 3 tower they've gotten down. No racks taken, no damage on either of the racks either. All right. I mean, they hold, I guess, for Skate.
man, Era just needed so much more money that fight.
Yeah.
Looking to get aggressive and smoke out, but he needs that MKV so
You
badly.
See how much damage he did to the Slaughter? It's not a lot.
Gotta get that MKB.
Yeah, it needs the damage. Ace is alone farming. The scan will
Chrono
be
in
successful.
10.
They kind of have to wait. Unfortunately, the problem is that Ace is going to walk up. They know that he's here. Telekinesis Chrono in 2. Noya is nearby. Ace has the Shadow Dance, and here we go. The hook will come and connects beautifully. Assassinate is there. And Noya just being in the right place at the right time. That would have been a kill had the Pudge not been there. Although they do have an Observer Ward. Ace, can he get the bash? Bash, bash. Yules will come out instead. All of a sudden, he's going to have to use Shadow Dance here. Silver Edge is up in 3. Chrono's
These
still
body
down.
blocks, dude.
Do they have detection? Yeah, they caught him. False Promise comes. Astral's not there in time. Assassinate. Will it do enough? I don't think they got the Purifying Flames, but the Guardian Greaves might be enough damage. Still taking a lot. He will drop, finally. A huge kill. Now they find the lasso. That'll be Noya, and Air's going to work. Air low in HP for now. Blade Mill comes out. Air's not going to go for any further damage. They'll try to just bring him down eventually. Looks like he should get the kill, and Trixie will do so. Now they'll chase further. It's going to be the Yule Scepter. No Slithering Crush. All of a sudden, Escape find themselves a double. Might find a triple for Koikfa. Good fortune's end, but it doesn't last for very long, and Koikfa still will not chase up to the high ground. But 3 heroes dead, including Ace on that Slark. Very huge fight for Koikfa and the rest of the Escape crew.
Yeah, they needed that desperately. Again, I guess sadly, Era not getting too much out of it. He's almost in the MKB, so
he should have gotten the kill on the Pudge, or he got the assist, I should say. So he should have gotten some of the gold, but
yeah,
not comparatively to Yapsor and Koikfa, who both got above 1,000 gold for each of those kills. Or not each of them.
But they have wave, right? I mean, they can start pushing up the high ground. Baby Knight does have everything, and Koikfa can just frontline.
They need to be careful with how they approach this for Imperial. They've had the advantage throughout the entire game, but all of a sudden this gets a bit sketchy. Koikfa pops the Mantis style. Everybody here now. Era actually in the mid lane, so he's not doing damage. Lasso, they found Baby Knight. Not an easy kill. They have the Chronosphere in 8 seconds. Chain Frost bouncing through Baby Knight. Astral is up. Can he get out?
That's
Force that
not
False
good.
Promise is there. Now the hook onto Koikfa. He's in trouble. He might fall here to the Dismember.
Oh.
Gets off the Time Walk in time. No TP. He's got Blink in 1. He needs to use it to get out perhaps. And he will blink further, but Baby Knight might find him here. Time Walk gets himself away. The Shiva's Guard. Mantis style will pop the Chronosphere just defensively. He needs to leave, but Hesta Joe, Slithering Crush, not there in time. The Time Walk, another 4-staff. Koikfa making the great escape. It looks like he might very well make it out. Yapsor as well. TP's going to connect, and Sidran. Everybody hightailing it out of here for escape. They will be successful in living, but
They were so close to losing Baby Knight, though.
Yeah.
That would have been an utter disaster. It is a quick Roche here again, just 20 seconds.
I don't know. Does that favor Imperial because there's no Chronosphere?
Yeah, I would say so. The question is, like, will they scout it? They don't have any natural ways to do it. Oracle might just sit in the pit. Maybe they'll send their courier, but they don't have, like, you know, creeps or anything like that. It's just sit in the pit. But denying that from Koikfa could be pretty nice, because he's going to be hard to bring down twice now that he does have the butterfly completed.
They do need that MKB. They have one for Era. I don't know if Koikfa ends up getting one replacing his Vlad's, but it could be an option. They do have a Pudge illusion, so they will know this is up. Slark also picks up a Basher. Nope.
They might think it's... Okay, good. They didn't waste anything.
Okay, this is...
Oh, Trixie wasted Firefly, though.
This is tough.
This is
38
really bad.
seconds for the Chronosphere. And they're going all the way around for Imperial. The scan, that's a Radiant scan, not a Dire. Escape, they do not have a scan available.
That's the MKB on the courier. So good timing. But they have no Firefly for this fight.
Lasso, they get off the Shivas. They get off the hide as well, but they find the Yapsor. He's going to use himself, but already dying Incinerate. Now, this is going to be a 4 versus 5 fight. This is not easy. The Astral coming out again. And it looks like Yapsor does blink away in time, but he's going to get False Promise chased down, still dead. He actually sold, I believe. Now Hesta Joe looking for Era. It's a 3 versus 5. This is not a good fight for Escape. They need to leave, but they can't. Ace is picturing them in. Good lasso. They'll get Baby Knight off. They have the lasso. They have the damage, but meanwhile, Era's getting chopped down. They just don't have the damage. Now there's the False Promise coming out. The Sanity's 4 dead. It should be 5 with Trixie inevitably falling. Blink up for Baby Knight. They need 1 more or 2 more auto attacks. And it looks like he should be able to blink away. Hook. Not there. He is going to make it out somehow. For now, but Baby Knight forced up, and then he just gets himself an easy auto attack. With 5 dead and no buyback, that almost certainly should be at least Dirax, if not the game. That is a great fight for Imperial, and it wasn't there. They didn't have the damage. Era could not get the auto attacks off in the Chronosphere, and 3 versus 5 was not a way to start that fight.
That was so similar to exactly what happened last game. The game-deciding fight. It's just fantastic play around the Roach Pit from Imperial. Like, sending in that Pudge illusion and doing this whole giant wraparound. Like, the positioning from Escape on this side, as expected, it's disastrous if you get engaged from that backline. I mean, Trixie had already used Firefly to try and scatter around for wards around the pit. They were trying to disable all the vision in the area. But then the fight starts. They get the Bat Rider and the Rubik right away. They don't have any Firefly to, like, go for a lasso play or anything like that, and they just get nothing. And then finally get this huge 3-man chrono, and Ace is just like, oh, look, an Era. We're gonna stop you from dealing all this damage inside the chronosphere, and we're just gonna win the game. So, 2 racks now down. Roche gonna go quickly over to the Radiant as well, and Escape's chances of winning this are like plummeting to almost 0.
And it is the best of 5 series. Being down 2-0, incredibly difficult to come back from. Just like in any other sport. This is not going to be easy. Escape. Game is not over yet. They're still down only 1-0. They need some type of miraculous comeback, which with a good chronosphere is possible. However, it's not going to be easy. Trixie Firefly, Hook not going to connect. Noya was looking for somebody trying to help out Baby Knight. Force up Trixie. Says find that lasso. It isn't ages for the Outworld of Our False Promise comes out, however. Quick Push should have his chronosphere and does, but the time walking away. And now Baby Knight is going to run amok. Yule Scepter will come through. They'll keep him at least in the place for now. But meanwhile, they've already dropped down Era. They get off the Lotus Orb coming out. He gets the Greaves. Still taking the Chain Frost bounces are insane, but it's just not enough. Slithering Crush coming through, and Void will be the next to fall. Both cores dead, still with no buyback. Somehow they survive through that entire engagement, and Sin knows that it's too little too late. GG is called. Imperial are up 2-0 here in the Royal Arena Grand Finals.
Woo! Well, talk about how this game and the series is going to be close. It's like, what, 2K lead was the biggest thing we saw for the first 35 minutes of the game, and then it just explodes. Single, like, big Roshan engagement. There, it was back and forth for a while there, like, Escape when they did win that fight down in the bottom, and they start pressuring, and then they almost killed the OD. That could have been game right there, or at least it could have been a significant chance for them to actually pressure and take down a lane of racks, allow them to always have something pushing into that bottom lane, get Koikfa and Aaron to that tier that they really needed in terms of the farm overall, and they were getting there, but Imperial, they just look so damn good. Those movements, I mean, that's one of the best roast wraparounds you'll see, and they do it 2 games in a row.
That was, yeah, and
it's actually amazing. Like, it looks so goddamn good.
How are they playing so well? Imperial are crushing it right now.
I don't know. They've been together for a long time. They always look this good. They just don't get their too many chances against a lot of the bigger squads, I feel like. And unfortunately, obviously, they have their chance at the Boston Major, didn't quite make it out. So, better luck next time. But they still look very solid.
This is going to be an interesting third game to potentially either close out the series or prolong it, depending on how Escape can play. It is, of course, a 2-0 advantage for Imperial here on moonducktv for Royal Arena. We will wait and see how this third game does shape up. We'll have a little bit of a break real quick, and then we'll jump into Game 3 right around the corner. Stick around, guys. The rest doesn't rise!
Breaking